This right here is the original, the OG DJI Mavic Pro. It's my first drone. The first video on my YouTube channel was all about how to get your drone license. I studied for a long time. When I passed that test, I bought myself this drone since I knew how to use it responsibly. And it actually still works perfectly. I used it when I proposed to my wife even, which is pretty amazing. So no matter what, I'm never getting rid of this because it's super sentimental. But those sentiments aside, it is 5.5 years old, but 6 years old at this point that these originally came out. And I don't find myself using it as much as I would like to because it's just kind of a hassle. It's incredibly well built. The remote is super nice, but then you gotta like hook your phone up and open the apps. And I absolutely don't like having to use apps with things. So I've been wanting to upgrade for a while, but I've been holding off. But it really kind of only makes sense to go with a DJI drone. This video is definitely not sponsored, and probably no video ever will be sponsored by DJI, because while I do think that their products in terms of engineering are pretty much some of the best in the world, engineering and design, they're some of the most usable, just well-made, smartly designed products like in the world. The part I don't like about DJI is the part where whenever they do product releases, they essentially entirely ignore female creators 100%. I shouldn't say 100%, 99.9%. Sometimes there will be like one female creator, maybe if it's like a gimbal or maybe a drone. For the most part, just a bunch of dudes, and I'm a dude talking about DJI. And I've been pretty vocal about this, but for years you can go back and look at their product releases and they just do not include women. Some people of color, kind of, and that's about it. And it sucks. They should really not do that. But if you're gonna buy a drone, it also like doesn't make sense to spend your money on something else unless you're like building it yourself from scratch, which I don't want to do. I want something that's good, usable. So let's separate marketing DJI, which is not good, with the engineering and development DJI, which is very good. I just got this box here from Las Vegas because it's hard to find these in stock. So I'm glad it, once again, to the rescue, just like with this microphone here, B&C camera in Las Vegas. Not like sending it for free or anything, but just having stuff in stock. I ordered this yesterday and it's here today. Wow, this is so small. Here we go. This is crazy how tiny this is. I know I've been watching tons of videos where people are like, this drone is super small, but like this is the box. This is my entire other compact drone. Pretty crazy how far these things have come. So this is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. The reason I wanted this one, there's a bunch of reasons I wanted this one. It's not the least expensive drone out there, and I know a lot of people have complained about the price, but compared to this one, which cost about $1,200 when I got it, this really wasn't that bad. This was $900 plus. I actually ended up getting this yesterday, but this was the Fly More kit. So total of this came out to like $1050, so still less expensive than the Fly More combo of this one, and it's significantly more capable. The Fly More kit comes with this little bag. I actually do like having these little cases for drones. I think they're handy. Comes with 2 batteries, battery charger, and some cables, and some extra propellers. Just all the stuff you need in the Fly More kit to fly more. The fun part here is that I have actually not used a new DJI drone since I got my original Mavic. So this is the 249 gram thing, which means depending on which country you're in, you don't have to register it officially. However, that does depend on where you're at. And if you're using drone footage commercially, especially in the United States, you do still technically need a Part 107 commercial drone license. And just for the sake of clarity, commercial means receiving anything in return for your drone footage, even if someone's like, hey, come take pictures of this, I'll buy you lunch afterwards. That's commercial use. If you put it on your YouTube channel, which is monetized, that's commercial use. So a lot of things count as commercial drone usage. This is a very tiny one. Wow, it's so cool. So we've got a significantly improved camera and then sensors everywhere. These two things here are not cameras, they are sensors. There are sensors on the bottom, there's sensors on the back, and these sensors here also are supposed to have a pretty wide field of view, meaning even though there's not sensors on the side, it should be able to sense at least some things on the side of the drone. Wow, this is cool. This is very cool. So I made sure to get the one that has the fancy remote with a screen built in, which means in theory, you don't need anything else. You just turn this on, all your info's right here, and then you fly. As I was busy being proactive, I also got some glass, screen protectors. I always like, if I can, to put screen protectors on things before ever touching them. There it goes. We are protected. Oh, there's a video, there's speakers. Another one of the fun things I found with drones, kind of like with phones, I'm not personally someone who gets like a new phone every year. Obviously I don't get a new drone every year, but that's kind of cool because the longer you wait in between updates, the bigger the change really is. If you go from one to the next to the next, if you're somebody who uses it like on a daily basis, you'll notice all the small improvements and changes. But if you're not somebody who uses it that way, you might not notice those things. But if you go like 3, 5, or more years in between updates, when you get something new, it's like, wow, this is totally different than what I had before. It's so nice. And then you've got your like mode switch here, return to home, power, your sticks. You've got your same buttons up at the top that you've always had, your same dials you always had, and you've got triggers down on the bottom here. Unlike any other drone I've used, the gimbal can actually point upwards a little bit. Actually, a lot of bit. Oh my God, that's like way far up. And it'll definitely be interesting because even though both of these drones are 4K, they are definitely going to be different quality. I'll be doing a more full-on in-depth review for this after I've had it and used it for a while. It's always weird to just get something and like, here's my review of it. I've never used it, so we'll wait a while on that, but I'm excited for this, so I wanted to share that with you. So here we go. The one on the right is the original Mavic. The one on the left is the Mini 3 Pro. And we're not outdoors, but at least you can kind of see. Okay. Here's everything here. All right, so here's the controllers. There's that. There's the Rodecaster. Here's the wall. Let's turn these off out here and go try them outside. So turning it on again, everything connected without me having to do anything. It took 30 seconds and now it's ready to go. Okay, here we go. Take off. That's so quiet. It's so quiet, oh my God. It's also super windy, but it seems to be pretty stable. Ben doesn't seem to care that much. There he is. Where you going, buddy? Oh, you're going right here. Hello. Actually, I'll go like. All right. Tilt this gimbal up. Look at that. Whoa. Oh wait, it's landing. No, don't land. It's going up to the sky here. I think it makes sounds if I'm getting close to something. Oh, cool. It's like a car backing up. If I go near this tree. Actually, won't let me go any further. That's cool. Look at this, I can zoom in on the palm tree. I can't believe how quiet this thing is. The zoom's actually pretty sweet. Look at that. Wow. This flies really well. I like it so much. Look at this, here it comes. Blowing in the wind. Hello. And now we'll basically do the same thing with the original. There we go. So much louder. Not nearly as many sensors on this one, so I could just fly it into something if I wanted to, which I don't want to do. Back towards me. Wow. I remember this used to be like the quiet drone, and now it's so not the quiet drone. It's crazy how things change. as I'm about to go do some test drone shots. I also forgot to mention how I even got this drone, which was kind of different. I used a website called mpb.com. I always think it's MBP, like MacBook Pro, but it's MPB. This sounds like a commercial, but honestly it was, if I'm buying something new, I just want less other stuff that I don't use. So I had like my Ronin S gimbal that I never really use. I had some like Canon lens adapters and stuff. eBay works, but you have to deal with like all the seller fees. And then a website I really like is Gear Focus. So if you have the time and the patience to put something up for sale and wait for it to sell, Gear Focus is great because you'll probably be able to get more for what you're selling. But MPB was one of those things where it's like they give you an instant quote, they give you a shipping label to print out, and then you just send it in and you're done. So that covered more than half the cost of this drone here, just with stuff that I had sitting around. And now I'm like, I want to go through everything and be like, what do I need to get rid of, or what can I get rid of that I don't need anymore? So I just wanted to throw that out there as an idea. If you're trying to get new or upgraded gear, potentially finding ways to sell your old gear to finance that could be a really smart idea. And speaking of smart ideas, thank you to everyone who helps support my channel through Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. And if you still want to know more, check out this video right here, which the YouTube algorithm has selected specifically for you based on probably a lot of data they've collected.